Now, when I was a little girl, I would take the leaves. Just look and see, there's so many gnats that are flying around my face right now. But I would take the leaves of this plant. It's a good thing my hair is not blonde or else I might be turning it green. And I would stuff the leaf. Yeah, it's already kind of working. I would stuff the leaf in the back of my hair, break it up just like that, and then just rub it on the top of my head. This plant, this is called spice bush, and the leaves themselves have this like lemony, oh, it's one of my favorite smells. It smells so clean, so fresh. But this is what I would use to help keep some of the gnats out of my eyes. We might turn this into a bug spray, but I want to do a little bit more research because I think it would probably be good if I take the leaves, chop them up, and put them in witch hazel, because I do feel like they help kind of combat the gnats that are all around. Just annoying little pest. So, little trick, little mountain girl trick that I learned when I was younger. It also makes for a safe toilet paper if you're in the woods and you know you need lemony fresh. Stinging nettles is still growing strong. That's good. Good to know. I'm excited to develop a whole little patch of it. Not yet, soon enough. And I saw a nice one. Great. What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the Honeystead. If you are new here, my name is Kaylee, and if you've been with me for a little while, well, it's been a little while since I've taken you guys and done a foraging video. So we are out today. I woke up this morning and was just like, I've got to get outside and actually do this versus getting outside and working in the garden or working in the bees or doing all the things. I just needed to take this day and kind of just slow down. So we're gonna slow down together, but I'm gonna also show you some of my favorite plants that are growing and just kind of teach you a little bit about some of the wild things that we have all over the place. And I'm sure you guys probably have some of these plants growing in your neck of the woods, but I do encourage you guys to get outside and yeah, and do this. Now, today's video is sponsored by Birch Living, and I do want to say a special thanks for sponsoring this video. Sleep is a very important part of your personal health care, of your self-care. It's one way for you to actually allow your body to restore. And for me, that was one thing that I struggled with. I definitely had a hard time falling asleep. I would wake up kind of achy and in pain. So when I started trying to do some research on choosing a mattress, I chose Birch Living. Now, Birch Living makes fiberglass-free mattresses that are crafted with responsibly sourced materials such as organic cotton, organic wool, and 100% natural latex. And I think it's beautiful that I actually get to see, you know, and read about the sheep that provide the wool to help make the mattress. I've shared over the years that my husband is a hot sleeper, I'm a cold sleeper, and how would that work sleeping on a wool mattress? But it does help truly regulate the body temperature. I'm waking up completely refreshed, so is my husband. The other thing that I love about the mattress is it is hypoallergenic, and mold and mildew resistant as well, which I thought was really very interesting. And they're free from any polyurethane foam that could cause harmful off-gassing. It was extremely easy for me to order. All I had to do was hop online, pick out the mattress that my husband and I wanted. We ordered it. The shipping was free for anyone that was in the US. It came in the mail within a couple of days, and I, of course, brought it inside by myself because I was stubborn. I went to go unbox it and accidentally did that upside down and had to wait for my husband to help flip it over. But if you are worried about that, they do offer in-home setup and removal, which I feel like is very convenient and helpful for people who may be like me and need a little bit of help. If you are a little skeptical about ordering a mattress online, they do offer a 100-night free sleep trial. From June 13th to June 30th, they're offering a 4th of July sale, which you'll get 27% off. All you have to do is scan the QR code or visit the link that's down below, and it'll take you right to their site, and you can read all about what Birch Living offers. So thank you, Birch Living, for sponsoring this video. And now I have to show you how absolutely, this is probably my favorite thing to do as a beekeeper this time of year. It is hot. It is sticky here in Virginia, and the bees are also hot. But while I'm down here, before we go forage, let me show you what these honeybees are doing. My honeybees are going over there and they're collecting water from the creek, and that's what they bring back to their colony to help cool everybody down. A colony can get pretty toasty inside, and the bees are really great at managing the temperature, especially for all the baby bees. Now we are due to get into the colony, which I need to take you guys with me because last time I did not. But we're due, so I plan on doing that with you guys one day. But today I really wanted to just show you some of the wild things that are growing. And just from coming down here, I'm seeing so many wild edibles. Not only are they food sources, but a lot of them offer medicinal properties. And yeah, I'm already looking at, gosh, a whole handful. So let me show you. Now, there's probably a lot more as we go about, but I will show you some of my favorite. So this one right here, you probably have heard me talk about this one if you guys have been with me for a hot minute, but this one is called broadleaf plantain, Plantago major. It is also similar to another plantain, which is narrowleaf plantain. This lovely plant has definitely saved me many times over. Especially as a beekeeper. And this right here is what I use to help draw out the bee sting. One of the actions that it offers medicinally is it's a vulnerary herb, which means tissue healing, tissue mending, and you can use it externally. You can also use it internally. Now, I will take this and I will chop it up real fine, and I will make it into a poultice. And I've actually played around with a few different things. This was actually like one thing that I did that was extremely helpful. But I took this plant, I chopped it up, and not only did I make it into a poultice, but I mixed some of our raw honey in it. And I used that on the inside of my leg. I would show you, but I only shaved from my knee down. Again, no judgment. But what happened was I had a tick bite that was on me. And so I did two things. One, I was in a hurry, and the tick bite was pretty nasty. If you guys live, you know, on the East Coast, I mean, actually, I feel like anywhere nowadays, tick bites can get pretty fierce. But I must have had a reaction to it, and luckily the tick had pretty much just bit me. But the first thing that I did was I took honey and activated charcoal because I didn't have a black drawing salve at the ready, which I'll share that with you guys one day, to pull out a lot of the toxins. So I had activated charcoal and I had honey, and I made a paste, or you would call it an electuary, and I put it and I wrapped it on the inside of my on the inside of my thigh where the bite was. And I mean, it was swollen. I started having experiencing the edema from the bite. And then after about 2 days of that, I also started using plantain, chopped up and mixed with honey, to help with the healing process. And I would say at day 3, you couldn't even tell that I had the bite. Now, these are just little things that you can do, you know, and if you have this plant growing around you, whether you get bit by a mosquito, whether you get bit by a spider or any type of bug, or bee sting or wasp sting, this one I would definitely consider. Now that's just externally. There are so many things that you can do with this one internally. This one was also part of when I was trying to heal my gut, you know, between raw honey and, you know, using herbs like plantain and calendula together, especially, that really helped kind of just mend the tissue, especially that inner lining of your digestive system. But this one is very mucilage like. It's got a lot of demulcent like properties, so very soothing, very cooling. I love to take this and mix it up into some oil, whatever oil you'd like. I used a cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, and chop up the plantain and put it in there. Depending on like the season, like this time of year, it's a little more humid, so I might let the plant wilt a little bit before I mix it into an oil. And I don't actually seal my jar, and I have tons of videos of this. I feel like, because this is definitely one of my staples, but this is what I'll use to make really wonderful salves with that are on the ready. But if you don't have time to run inside and make a salve and you need to use it, just go grab this leaf and chop it up or rub it, or, you know, chew it up, spit it out, smack it on where you need it, which tends to be my face whenever I get stung by a bee. And within a day, at least for me, the sting and the swelling has already subsided, and it's already starting to mend. So this one, if you don't know this lovely plant, I recommend you getting to know it, and also looking for the narrowleaf plantain. So great first herbal find, especially for the beginner herbalist, or if you have littles. And many times I've used this plant on my little kids. So good find, and there's a whole bunch more. So let's go. This one is greenbrier, and let me make sure there's no buggies. I mean, it would just be extra protein, but see this little baby shoot right there? This is like one of my favorite springtime wild foraging edibles, but it has like a very tender asparagus. It tastes just like asparagus to me, like good fresh garden asparagus. I love going and grabbing the little tenders and eating it. And there's so much, and it's all over the place. And if we needed to, like, this is what I'm saying, we have truly been given so much. It's just up to us to stop and actually see it and learn it and figure out how to use it, whether it's for plant medicine or food. Now, little dandelion leaf right there. That is delicious as a salad green. You know, I swear sometimes I should just give up on growing lettuce and just go and forage for the greens, because they're all here and I don't have to tend to them. And as much as I love gardening, and my heart goes out to all the gardeners that are all over the place, but like my favorite type of gardening is the wild garden. So again, we've been given so much, but this one right here, super green, you can use the leaves. The tender leaves are the best. They have like an arugula-like flavor. I mean, I'm sure you've tasted dandelion greens in salad mixes as well. But the one thing about the dandelion, which I have a video on it, I'll put that above. But the dandelion, you can use every single part. You can use the leaves. For a green, it's also great for moving the lymphatic system as an alternative for helping like the body restore too. But you can use the root as a roasted and in like roasted for coffee. You can decoct it. I mean, you can do so much with the root, but it has inulin in it, which is also naturally beneficial for your digestive system. So one thing that I like to do on plants that have that, especially with the rooted plants, I will actually mix the root in with the honey, because the inulin feeds your gut, and then you have the prebiotic from the honey. So you just made yourself like a whole gut health little remedy. But you can also use the flowers as well, which are beautiful. There are so many more. I'm looking right beside. We got some violet too. Now this sweetheart is called violet. In the spring, early spring, for a very short period of time, you'll see little purple flowers. We actually are due to go to the apothecary, and we might have to do that on one of the next videos, but I harvested the flowers and I have them infusing in an oil right now. That oil will help move all the fluid, but you can use the leaves too. And I've actually, I've got to look. I believe we also made an oxymel using the leaves. But this one, good spring, beautiful, beautiful little plant. And it's good for the heart. I almost walked right past this one. Remember how I mentioned narrow leaf plantain? It's right next to a bunch of baby broadleafs, but you could use this one as well. I actually will take the narrow leaf plantain and I will use it like a band-aid. If I cut my hand or cut my finger, I'll actually take it and just wrap it around and go about my day, and it will help with any cuts and scrapes. And if you guys know, I am one. I am one that tends to get bumps, scrapes, bruises, bites, all the things. I don't know if the electric fence is on, so I'm not going to lean too close. This is our pig pasture area, but I also saw some mushrooms that are growing all around there. I don't know if I'm going to get in there today because I am wearing a skirt and my sandals. But look at this one. I have a few videos on some wood ears. They're a little dried out right now, but when they get damp, they turn to be like jelly-like. And I have a video on that one as well. But that is edible. They don't have much flavor, but they taste good in a homemade ramen soup with bone broth. Is that one of the first? Oh, not yet. Oh, soon enough. The berries are coming. We've got a bunch of blackberries on the property. Oh, right there. There's a good one. Sometimes you always have to blow it off to make sure there's no little ant babies in there. Oh, I miss that flavor. It's so sweet. When I was a little girl, I would spend hours outside just picking blackberries and wineberries, which I haven't seen the wineberries come up yet, but the blackberries, this is the first, and I get to share it. I get to share it with you guys. I saw another one, but I would be covered. It's okay. I would be covered from head to toe in the blackberries. They would stain my clothes, they would stain my mouth, and I swear, I think I lived off of blackberries. But again, like, that is a food source that's here growing, and I didn't have to plant it. And there are so many more. So many more things. It's actually really beautiful. And it's really reassuring, you know, to think about that. Like, I have a garden, and I do grow it. I just heard a walnut fall, and we can talk about that when we go. Heard another one. We'll talk about that when we go over there. Now, I will say, we have had some bear, and it has happened a couple of times where I've been down here, and a bear will just kind of like walk on by. I don't have my Aussies with me right now. They're hanging out with my husband up at the barn shop. So if you see me running and the camera's filming, all right, y'all, say a prayer. I'm just kidding. I've come face to face with many black bear in my life, and yeah, nose to nose, like literally nose to nose. That was fun. But that's what happens when you were a wild feral mountain girl growing up, but then realize that you still are. So let's go see if I can find the walnut. I do want to talk to you about that. It's a little early, but I still have some from last year, and a video that I can share with what we do with the walnuts. We have had a couple of storms recently, so these would get substantially a lot larger, but it's still a little early. But this is what we would use, the hull of it when they're a little bit bigger. We don't use them if they're already gross and black and dark. We'll actually use them when they're nice and bright and green. And we'll put gloves on and we'll peel the outer skin off and put that in a mason jar and pour a alcohol on top of it to set up and make a tincture. And this is what we use for a parasite cleanse. But yeah, that's just another thing. And the nut itself is another food source. So again, how remarkable. We're gonna toss that one because it's not really worth keeping, and we'll just let it go back to the land. But I only walked in this area maybe 100 feet, and there are still so many more plants that I could share about. I mean, there's burdock, there's yellow dock, there's ground ivy, we have cleavers, you know, we've got elder flowers that I'm due to harvest as well and infuse in some honey. But that, I think, that is what continues to blow my mind. And we have a plane that's flying a little low. But yeah, that's the part that definitely excites me, is just knowing that it's here. It's just up to me to see it. But I did want to give you guys an update on the book. I have had a few people reach out. It's been a little bit of a crazy last couple of weeks. We had the Homestead Festival, which blew me away. I talked in front of so many people, which thank you guys if you guys attended that. I really appreciate you letting me have the space to share my story and to kind of go a little bit more about the things. And again, if you guys are new here, like, this might not be for you, but if you stick around for a little while, you'll see. But that was a beautiful festival. Thank you guys for coming. I did want to give you guys an announcement about the book. We do have a slight hiccup, which is not bad. It's actually a blessing. The book will now be in print by August. I was hoping for this month. There was a little bit of a hiccup, but here's the beauty, here's the blessing, and here's what I'm excited to share with you guys. I actually get to add over 100 pages more to this book. So that's going to mean it's going to have a lot more recipes and a lot more things. And so I am in the final stages of working on the layout and helping with the pictures and making sure everything is exactly where it needs to be. But it looks like the book is going to be going to print very soon, probably like at the end of this month, and August is going to be when it's ready for it to be shipped. So, but I really want to just say thank you guys for being there and being supportive and just knowing that all good things are happening. First time I've ever written a book, definitely the hardest thing I think I've ever done. More to come, but if you guys are interested in pre-ordering it, I am going to go ahead and put the QR code, and the link will be in the description as well of this video. Yeah, I'm blown away. So, as always, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn something old. Bye, guys.